that he's made anti-Semitic and anti-Islamic statements himself, North Carolina's new lieutenant governor is now going after the practice of teaching the concept of systemic racism in his state's public schools. And he's engaging in a heated spat with the media. Mark Robinson made history this year when he became the first black man to hold the office of lieutenant governor in North Carolina. And he did it by campaigning against the idea of systemic racism during a debate with his black female opponent, a Democrat.
I don't believe that systemic racism in our nation would allow two black people to stand here running for lieutenant governor and have a scene a president. A black president be elected for 2 terms. So systemic racism is not the problem.
Outraged by a Board of Education discussion over systemic racism, Robinson said this: "To call our system of government racist, that is an untruth as far as I'm concerned. I truly believe that it is an untruth as far as history is concerned, and it does a disservice to our students. It puts the idea in the mind of our children that they live in a nation that has promoted racism." Robinson believes American students should learn history from what he calls a victorious perspective. If we want to teach children to embrace a system, he says, tell them to embrace a system that ended slavery, that ended Jim Crow, that gave women the right to vote. At the start of this Black History Month, the local television station took umbrage and published a cartoon showing a Klansman showing GOP board members against the use of the phrase systemic racism.
Depicting the first black lieutenant governor as a Ku Klux Klansman. It's something we cannot stand for, folks. It's something that I'm not going to stand for. What I want to know from WRAL, is that who you are? Is that who you want to represent yourself to be in this state?
The local station responded with a statement. The editorial cartoon by Dennis Drawn is meant to point out that these members of the state board are trying to wipe out from the social studies curriculum the record of racism, which includes the Klan and the segregationist practices that were imposed in our state and nation's history. Drawn is an 8th grade teacher.
Because, by the way, wasn't anybody in the GOP that promoted the Ku Klux Klan and the ideals thereof? I can tell you who did that.
We'll follow that case.